Antisocial Commentary. I'm Chris.
And I'm Tori.
And as you can see, we have a new layout, new what word? Not
new
setting, but
Oh, I think layout, new background.
Yeah, we bought a studio. You may or may not can't tell, but we bought a studio.
We spent some money.
Yeah, it's okay. You know?
Well,
I didn't spend shit.
we spent money. He didn't do nothing but shut up and was like, "Oh, this is nice. This is what I said."
But when you're the talent and the face, you don't do the funding.
Producers do all the work.
Yeah, that's
I just show up and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I was here."
Yeah, exactly. So it's not my fault that I'm the talent, the brains, and the beauty. I can't do all of it.
Right.
So yeah, we should have an interesting show this week. I mean, kind of was a trash week as far as news, because the only thing that's going on is either A, coronavirus, or B, you can't leave the house. So I mean,
more coronavirus.
Yeah, internet's still tripping. So there's that. We're at a time where it's like no one has anything to do but to cancel shit. So we're finding shit to cancel. I mean, we need shit to open, or things are starting to turn. Like they already try to get rid of. They try to cancel Halle Berry. They try to get rid of. They're trying to get rid of all the names of sports teams, which is kind of near and dear to our hearts because I'm confident in saying that we're both Redskins fans, and I love to hear your side of it as well. But for me, as a Redskins fan, I'm going to be 30 this year, so for 30 years, definitely born into being a Redskin fan.
Yeah.
Our mother and her brothers and sisters were Redskins fans, and their parents were Redskins fans.
They were born in DC, right? At least mommy was.
Yeah, something like that. And so they're all Redskins fans. We're Redskins fans. Grew up Redskins fans. I can honestly say that they can change the name, and it would not bother me. I'm actually more offended by their actual play than the name. I gotta be completely honest with you. They suck so bad that I could care less if they change the name.
I wonder what they would change it to. Would they drop the skin or the red? Would they just be the skins or the reds? Or would you have to go completely, like, where did the football team of this particular region of?
Well, I mean, it's my understanding that they're changing it to, like, the Red Tails to
Red Tails.
Red Tails, like the Tuskegee Airmen, like they're trying to memorialize them in some way.
Okay.
Which is a cool name. I'm cool with that.
The Red Tails, go Tails.
But again, the name doesn't mean shit when y'all don't win games. It's like I've been saying get rid of Dan Snyder for years, the owner. I've been like, you're absolutely the worst owner in the NFL, and that includes. Everybody wants to be like, oh, Jerry Jones is the worst owner. No, Jerry Jones gets shit done. They may not win the Super Bowl, but he gets shit done. What has Dan Snyder done in the past 30 years of my life that is worth talking about? You signed Albert Hainsworth, which obviously you don't know what I'm talking about, but he signed this guy who was not even able to show up to camp in shape, and they paid him like $100 million. Like, fuck out of here. Now, I will say this: we are a very big non-cancel culture show, so to give some pushback, the whole getting rid of the name type of shit, it's kind of flowing into the all these actors and actresses that are playing people of color on cartoons and shit. Like, oh, we shouldn't have done this, but that, and the third.
Well, hold on. Before we go to that part, if you're gonna make them change the name of the Redskins, all right, fine, whatever. You gotta change the logo too. Are they gonna, if they're gonna stick with the Red Tails, are they gonna have planes as their mascot? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Or is it gonna be the black dude? Because that would be even worse. Like, I don't know.
Oh shit.
But
they double down on the racism. Like, all right, so then they put the coon face, the pink lip.
That would be even worse.
Oh my god.
I saw this meme on a complete side note. I saw this meme on Twitter when everybody was like the whole Aunt Jemima thing. They're gonna take her off the cereal.
Been saying they need to get rid of Aunt Jemima.
Well, I saw a meme on Twitter, and it was like two police officers like doing a press, like a picture of them doing like a press conference, and the meme was like, the best we could do is take her off the syrup bottle. Everything else we can't help you with.
That's what I'm saying. Like they all doing this tokenism. Like, we don't give a fuck about y'all changing the name from master bedroom to
primary.
Like, we don't give a fuck about that. We care about police reform,
yeah,
and we care about black people getting these same rights as everybody else. That's all we care about.
But also,
we don't give a fuck about names.
But also, if they're gonna make the Redskins change their names, then what about the Blackhawks?
Yeah, Chiefs, Blackhawks, Indians, Braves. You can even go look at colleges. The Florida State Seminoles, like.
Right.
Well,
so many.
Okay, so where do we draw the line? Redskins, obviously offensive. Braves, maybe.
I mean, they literally do.
If
you're only listening to this, if you watch baseball and you watch the Braves, they do the tomahawk chop. So it's like.
And the Chiefs do as well. Florida State Seminoles do as well. That being said, live ass crowd chant. Don't get rid of the crowd chant. Like, it may be offensive, but absolutely worth it. That I love the
yeah,
that is live.
It's a lot
I
of
don't
fun.
care what nobody
but
says.
also,
that is live as fuck.
You know, I think I also. But I guess I understand why they feel the need to change, because obviously it's offensive, but then you have people who are not Native Americans walking around with the headdresses at the games and getting the tattoos, and it's, you know, for someone who's actually Native American, not me, but I'm just saying.
You kind of are, but keep going.
Well, yeah, there's a little bit there.
Yeah.
But anyway, someone who isn't Native seeing a white dude at your sporting event walking around with his headdress, not everybody, like, at least what I was in my headcanon, the headpieces are is for like the chiefs, like it's like the same thing as like the king's crown, like only the king wears this, only the chief wears this headdress, and it's something that means power and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But people are just wearing it because like, hey, look at me, I
look like an Indian.
I look cool with this thing on my head, and let me cheer and get excited.
I agree that that's offensive, but you know what's equally as offensive? Being in a stadium on land that was stolen from Indians, like that's equally offensive. Like we're not going to sit here and be like, okay, well, we're going to get rid of all the Indian names and references, or Native American names and references throughout sports, and not act as if though we didn't take this land from people. Like, and we're on land that, if you have such an issue with how Native Americans have been treated, like, let them stay with you. Let them live in your crib. Give them some of your land back. How about that? But you're not going to do that. Right. Just like these actors and shit, like, oh, you know what? I was wrong for playing this character all these years of these roles for people of color.
Now that is,
are you going to give any of that money back that you've earned over the past 10, 15, whatever years you've been playing this character?
Well,
you're not. So shut the fuck up and keep playing the character.
Well, I mean, literally, I the first time around I saw this was Jenny Slate, who voices the character on Big Mouth. Do you watch Big Mouth?
Yeah. I didn't understand that she's half black, half white. So why can't a white character continue?
Well, I mean, my thing is, she was like, black characters should be played by black people. Okay, fine, I get that, but no one cared that you were playing a black character because the character wasn't offensive. Is not an offensive character. Now, if the character is offensive in the show and then it's being portrayed that way, then that's totally different. Then you have to think about Cleveland, right? The actor for Cleveland stepped down as well. Yeah, I don't really watch Family Guy or the Cleveland show as much as you do, but everything that I saw, he wasn't an offensive character, was he?
He plays a black stereotype. His character a lot of times is a character that is stereotypical as like, oh yeah, that's what a black man would say that, but he is being played by a white guy. But again, for me, like,
I mean, but if we're going with that argument, can the same thing be said about if the character is a boy but they're being voiced by a female? Should men be voiced by men and vice versa? Because in that case, you're gonna have to change up the entire cast for the Simpsons. Yeah, where are we going to draw the lines? Spoiler alert: Bart is portrayed by a woman.
Tommy Pickles portrayed by a woman.
The whole cast was portrayed by opposites.
Exactly. It does. We do have to figure out where we want to draw the lines, because then you have just this week Halle Berry. People were upset at her because she was going to play a transgender character.
That happened to Scarlett Johansson a few months ago, or maybe a year.
First of all, Scarlett Johansson can play any character.
That's true. She's
black, Asian, white.
She's a man, she a woman. She's a kid. Sometimes it just depends.
And Julia Roberts absolutely can play fucking Harriet Tubman. Makes sense. So for me, when it comes to Halle Berry playing a transgender, what I don't understand is, where do we want to draw the lines as far as gender roles? Because let's be clear, we would not say anything about a transgender person playing a regular character. We don't want to say anything about, I don't want to say regular, that's offensive, but we wouldn't say anything about a transgender playing a cisgender person.
Right.
And I think it all comes down to the fact is we don't want to have the non-marginalized play the marginalized.
I mean,
but when it comes to transgenders or straight men playing gay characters, are we okay with gay characters playing straight men? Because for years we've had it's acting. We've had people in the performing arts, whether it's Kevin Spacey, Ian McKellen, Will Smith, playing straight men, and we don't say anything about it.
I mean, same thing with Matt Bomer. He was on a successful TV show for years,
and he was a gay man.
Blue collar, or white collar rather. Great show, by the way. He was a very straight man. Look at Neil Patrick Harris, a very straight man on the show. Yeah. In real life, he's got a whole husband. So it's like, were we offended looking at Matt Bomer and PH being like, how dare you play a straight man? This should be a straight man's role. No one cares because we're not looking at them based off of their acting or their them as an actor. We're looking at them as their character. Right. So if we're judging them based off of that, then no one is ever going to be able to succeed in any shape or form.
Like, we can't have a non-truck driver play a truck driver on TV. But that's all acting, and that's the beauty of acting. You become a character. And let's be clear: if a straight man says, "I don't want to play a gay role," we all freak out. We all like, "Oh my God, how dare you do that?" Right. So I don't understand where the lines. I'm okay with being wrong. Yeah. I'm just saying that I don't know where we draw the line at.
I mean, there's a lot of that. Sorry to cut you off. There's a lot of that going around though, because we had. I know you won't watch it, never probably will watch it, and that's fine because it's not something that you would watch. Not just because it's about gay people, it's just not your genre in terms of like romantic comedy.
What is this?
Like
what are you talking about?
Love, Simon. It came out like 3 years ago, maybe.
I'd rather snort gravel.
Right, so it's just not your type of genre. It's not your type of movie. You like your romantic movies, but they have to have some sort of like.
I only like straight movies. I'm a straight man.
Just like you said, like some people like certain genres. That's just not your type of genre, that kind of thing. Right. But anyway,
I like romantic comedies. I like rom-coms. If you take the com out of the rom, fuck out of here.
Romantic drama type thing.
Fuck out of here.
You're not really into teen dramas either. You prefer more adult things.
No, teen dramas I make fun of. Like, oh my God, why are y'all so dramatic? 17, shut the fuck up.
I mean, but also in Love, Simon, the main actor, Nick Robinson, is not gay in real life. And everyone was like, oh, he's not gay. But, okay, did he do a good job in the movie? Did you believe him? Yes. So move on. Right. Same thing with the TV show now that's kind of spins off of the book with Love Victor. The actor who's playing him is not gay in real life, but on the show he is. And so there's that distinction. Now, same thing can be said about Jared Leto in Dallas Buyers Club. The man plays a transgender person. He won an Oscar for it. Right. So it's like, just like you were saying, like, where's the... Now, I guess I can understand why people are upset at Halle Berry for taking the role, and then now she's like, no, I don't want to do it because there's so much, like, I wouldn't say, like, we don't understand the transgender as much as we understand the gay aspect of it. Like, I guess our brains are more familiar with the gay than we are with the transgender. It's still, not that the transgender is new, because it's not new, it's been around forever, but I think it's becoming more... I think it's becoming more like in your face type thing. Yeah. People are starting to get more of a voice. Yeah. And I think because maybe they feel like it should be done by someone who is, so that way we can understand when you're watching it, you're like, okay, I feel like I understand a lot more. Yeah. But also, if you're telling the story, period, it should be written in a way that it doesn't. If a dog can play the transgender person, you would still understand.
You should have said that. Are you comparing transgenders to dogs? First of all, if I was a transgender, I would be offended that Halle Berry wanted to play me. Just simply because when's the last time Halle Berry done anything good? Like
John Wick.
All her movies. Well, besides but that wasn't her movie. She was not even like a secondary character. She was like, you're here for like 20 minutes of the movie, like if that. You probably have like 5 minutes of total screen time. Right. But other than that, like, what has she done? Like, any movie where she's the star, I wish we could pull up her filmography right now, but she hasn't done much worth talking about recently. Right. And that's not take away from just stuff from in the past, but like recently, like, we don't want to see your old ass playing us either. But that being said, as transgender, y'all tripping because y'all know good and damn well not one of y'all looks as good as Halle Berry ever will. Like, before you you get your testicle filled panties in a bunch. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Don't pull up all these pictures of, oh, look at this one. She looks so. It's a joke.
You know what, Chris? What's gonna happen is
what?
In like 10 years, 5 years, whatever, when you become really popular and famous,
Somebody's
they're gonna pull this up and be like, look at him, he's a fucking bigot or whatever.
See, that's the thing. I don't give a fuck. That's why you create your own shit. No one can tell you. They can't cancel you when you create your own shit. When you're beholden to someone else, if you're beholden to a network, you're beholden to a website or whatever that's not yours, you will always have to bend to the people, to the mob's whims, and that's not me. Like, and that's the issue with cancel culture. If you sit there and we cancel everybody, let me take a step back. We all do something that can be seen as problematic. I don't care if you're a straight man, a gay man, a person that identifies as a notebook. It does not matter. Something that you do is problematic to somebody. Period. So the more you try to get rid of all these problematic, toxic, chauvinistic, whatever word you want to use to describe somebody, you get rid of all of them. Eventually, there's going to be more people that have been gotten rid of than there are people that are doing the getting rid of. The gotten rid of is going to be more than the people that have started the. You get what I'm saying? Shit. But there's going to be more on that side. So eventually, the gun gets turned back on you, and that's what I don't understand when it comes to people that make their whole identity off of canceling people. Like you literally go out and find people, look for people's problematic tweets and problematic statements they said back in 1996. Like, yeah, the 90s and the early 2000s was a wild fucking time. We said wild shit. Get over it. Like that's like me getting mad right now about something that was written in Shakespeare times. Like, oh my God, they said nigga. Yeah, they said nigga. Why am I surprised they said nigga? Like, I expect that. Do I think it was right? No, but I understand that that's what they were saying.
I think that if the intentions are in the wrong place, like, for example, you probably don't know much about it. I don't really know much about it. I just read into it a little bit the other week when I heard it because I was just curious. Mm-hmm. But Jenna Marbles is quitting YouTube. We don't care because we don't watch her. But what I'm saying is she's leaving YouTube because people found old videos of her like dressed up as Nicki Minaj, and they were like, it's blackface, or whatever. And so I
was it blackface? Did she blacken her face, or was she just dressed up as Nicki Minaj?
She was dressed up as Nicki Minaj, but she had she was trying to match her skin color.
Well, yeah. I'm more offended that she wanted to be like Nicki Minaj. That bitch trash.
Wow. But either way it goes, it's stuff like that, and she made a whole public video about it, and it's like,
we don't care.
Right, but I mean, my thing is, I'm like, listen, that happened a long time ago. Do I agree? No, but guess what I'm choosing to do? Not support her stupid ass.
Not give a fuck.
Exactly. But as far as the Halle Berry thing, I mean, I think personally someone who is transgender should probably do the story in that way, because people who are transgender aren't getting roles. Right. And I think giving it to Halle Berry or the Scarlett Johanssons of the world is like an obvious thing. I mean, Halle Berry might not be obvious because she hasn't been doing too much work lately, but I'm just saying, like, that's kind of an obvious, like, oh, okay, of course they give it to someone who's that, like, just a normal straight woman. Again, not to use the word normal, but you know what I mean. And then,
cisgender is what you're supposed to say.
And then I also think that, like, you know, a lot of that can be said about, like, again, you don't care about this either, but it's in terms of conversation, they just announced a new Batwoman because Ruby Rose quit.
Yeah, I saw that.
And is going to be a black woman. And everyone's like, oh, it's a tokenized character. There's a tokenized character. And I'm just like, okay, well, listen. It's a new character, so it's not tokenized, technically. The mantle itself could be anything and anybody. Right. The Batwoman character, she's not replacing Kate Kane. She's just replacing Batwoman. She's playing a whole new character that is created for the show. So, like, she's being Kate Kane. She's a new character, basically. And so there's a lot of tokenization there, being like, well, what about Iris Flesh? She's white in the comics, now she's black here. You know, all of these different things, and it's just like, I don't know. None of that bothers me at all. I think the whole transgender thing is different because that's a whole, I don't know, it should probably just be done by a transgender person because we don't fully know what it means. Well, now, if we're going based off just like a regular character like Kate Kane or Ryan Wilder, which is the new character's name, give it to, who cares? Nobody cares. Just give it to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Cause
well, to play devil's advocate, not saying this is my opinion, but to play devil's advocate, if you're making a movie. You're in the business of not only making a good movie and something artistic, but you more care about. I want to put asses in seats. I want money to be. I'm here to make money. I'm not here to appease people. If the movie turns out great, we get an Oscar, whatever have you, man, we love that because that's more money for us. Obviously, we want to put out the best product because we want to get the better the product, the more likely you're going to get paid more. That being said, Halle Berry is a known face, and again, this kind of contradicts what I just said about her movies flopping, but she's a known face who, in the transgender community, is known more than Halle Berry.
Right.
So, if you want people, and I'm talking directly to the transgender community, if you want people to care about your movement, wouldn't it make sense to have somebody that's not transgender but is a big name to play a character that identifies with you, so that more people will be like, oh, I get it now.
Like an ally.
Yeah, like if you want somebody to talk about your problems, for example, Black Lives Matter movement. We've been saying Black Lives Matter for the past 8 years now. I think this when it started, 2012, and no one gave a fuck. The moment white people start saying it, now it's a big deal.
Right.
And then we're not saying that because white people are saying Black Lives Matter, that the movement has just now started. No, however, we're saying that when you have people that are not necessarily that community also saying something about that community, now it's like, okay, we can bring people, we can bring more people on. Again, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I would agree that maybe if you do want to have a gay character, if you want to have a transgender character, if you want to have a whatever character, you should have that if you can get that person to play that person, then sure. But at the same time, a lot of people will be like, well, do you think that white people should play black people? Here's the difference between your gender identity and sexual preference and your race. Looking at you, can I tell what you identify as? No. Can I look at you and be like, oh, I can tell that she's a straight person? Can I look at you and be like, oh, she's a gay person? Can I be like, she identifies as a woman? I can't look at you and do that. But I can't look, well, maybe not you, you're beige. But I can look at you and be like, well, that's a black person.
Right.
There's nothing I can do to hide the fact that I am a black person. Not saying that you should hide your trans, but fuck it. What I'm saying is, you cannot ignore the fact that you're a black man. You cannot ignore the fact that you're a black woman. You cannot ignore the fact that you are a white person. You can choose to not identify, disclose what you identify as. You choose to tell people that you're a gay person. You choose to tell people that you identify as whatever have you. Not saying that you shouldn't or shouldn't. If you want to live your life the way you want to live your life, I'm with that.
Right.
As a person that doesn't like to be told what to do, I am 100% cool with gay people deciding that I want to tell you that I'm gay. This is the person I want to be with. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I think when someone decides they want to be not decide because whatever. No, I'm just saying when someone decides that they want to live their life the way they feel they want to. Exactly. The way they feel.
Go for it.
Do it. So that's why I will never be against gay people or gay marriage or whatever have you. The LGBTQ plus community. I'm not against it. I am against some of the policy though. Yeah. Like you can't expect me to want to try and accept you if you don't. If you have to accept the fact that I'm going to be ignorant to a lot of things that are part of your community. If I'm not part of your community, I don't know.
Right.
Like when it's very similar to when I'm a wrestling fan. I love wrestling. If people ask me questions about wrestling, if I was like, how you not know that?
How am I supposed to know that?
That's stupid because you don't like wrestling. You don't understand what wrestling fans go through. Like what we watch, what we're like. I don't expect people to be like, it's like, you do know that's fake. Yeah, I know it's fake. You're not ruining it for me. So it's fucking Star Wars. You still watched it.
Right.
Like, it's entertainment to me. I understand that you may not find it entertaining. But let me explain to you why it's entertaining. This, that, and the third. And maybe you'll be like, okay, I get it now. maybe you'll be like, hey, I might want to check out wrestling. Maybe you like, no, that's still stupid, but I get why you like it. There's two different, there's two things can be true. I can think that wrestling is stupid, but I can also understand why someone likes it.
Right.
Just like you like, what's that shitty ass show? Trashiest show of all time, but everybody loved it. Game of Thrones. You love Game of Thrones.
Oh, come on.
However, I get why you would like it. For me, I think it's garbage.
But it's also not. I'm not.
I wish I had
a
button. I wish I had like a matter of fact, I might edit this and have a timer on the top of the screen. Tori gets triggered in 3.
Well, I'm not like arguing with what you're about to say. I'm just saying it's also not something that you would ever watch anyway. It's not your genre. It's not a crime or a politic type show. It is politic and crime, to be fair, but it's not. It's woven into fantasy, and he doesn't like that kind of stuff.
It's like it just depends, I guess. Honestly, I love history. I love crime, which normally is historical, and that's probably why I like it. Anyway,
he don't be fucking with dragons, so if it ain't a dog, he don't care. But dragons, you cross the line and talking trees. Lord of the Rings, I'm looking at you, but that's my jam. That's not his jam. So
watched all 3. The third one is the only one that's watchable. The second one is like, let me take it back. The third one's the only one that's good. The second one is watchable. The first one is just, why is it even here?
Extremely triggered, actually.
The first one, anybody that sits there and tells you the first one is not boring, you may like it, but that is a boring movie.
I don't trust your opinion.
You have to agree.
This podcast is over. I don't trust your opinion.
You have to agree that the first Lord of the Rings is boring.
Whatever.
Nothing happens.
It's true, nothing happens. But as someone who can listen, okay, I read all 7 or 8, however many Harry Potter books. Okay, let me tell you something. Nothing happens for like 300 pages worth of content. They go to school. A little bit of plot is revealed, but nothing happens until like the last 150 pages.
I don't know.
Spoiler alert to anyone who's never read Harry Potter. Just be prepared for that.
I don't know if you're talking about Harry Potter on the same podcast we're talking about transgenders, because.
Listen, that actually brings me to something.
Okay.
So, speaking of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling and Margaret Atwood. If you're not familiar with Margaret Atwood, she's also a writer.
Okay.
She's given us plenty of great stuff, but something that people will know they'll know is The Handmaid's Tale.
Okay, I know that.
The book and the show is obviously based on that. So anyway, Harper's Magazine put out an open letter. Basically calling for an end to cancel culture. I had I screenshotted the headline yesterday on Twitter. And anyway,
before you even read it, let me tell you why that's some bullshit. Cancel culture has been such a problem. It has been a problem for a long time. For a good, I don't know, maybe we'll say about 5 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. Now, 2 white bitches got something to say.
Well, actually,
if you want to cancel them, now we went, cancel culture's a problem. Fuck out of here.
Well, hold on.
Fuck out of here.
It wasn't just the 2 of them. It was like 150 people. Okay. They were just among the 2.
I'm just saying, cancel culture doesn't seem to be a problem until it starts affecting white women. Who? Continue.
Okay, so anyway, I don't know about Margaret Atwood because she's an old lady. J.K. Rowling is old, but she's not Margaret Atwood old. So she's
how old is Margaret Atwood?
I don't know. Let's ask Google. Hey, Google.
Why are you looking that up?
How old is Margaret Atwood?
Somebody needs to turn their music down. We are in a neighborhood, buddy.
Margaret Atwood is 80 years old.
Jesus Christ.
So, her stance on certain things is probably a little bit. Also, she given us The Handmaid's Tale. If you've never seen it or watched it or read the books, you're probably going to be triggered, especially if you're like a super strong feminist. But anyway, J.K. Rowling, though, she's like the same age as Kev, I think. Our dad, like 50s, 60s. I think she's in that bracket, if not a little bit younger. But anyway, so she's been on fire on Twitter for a really long time, not just within the last week or so.
Under fire. Not on fire.
Oh,
under fire.
Well, anyway, she's been under fire on Twitter for a long time. It kind of started with the whole her being like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Dumbledore's been gay the whole time," and so it sort of started with that, and it's kind of snowballed into many things that have happened over the years. But basically, there was like a woman. I think we were in the car, and I told you about this the first time around. I heard it. It was like a woman at work said something about like transgender woman, like not being a woman or whatever, and that's just the way that she feels. Like, you may not agree, but that's how a person feels.
Right.
You can take how you feel about it, but just move on from it. I don't agree with you, but that's what you said.
We agree to disagree.
Right, exactly.
It's how most conversations that are you button heads. That's how it should. You know what? I respect your opinion, but
I don't agree. So
I don't agree.
But let's move on.
You're not wrong. I'm not right.
Exactly.
That's how most. I know it's not going to, but that's how most human interactions that are conflict should go. But you know, shit happens.
So anyway, so she got on Twitter basically being like, "Yeah, I agree. Like, they aren't women. They don't experience what women go through. They don't."
J.K. Rowling.
Yes, this is what she's saying.
Yeah.
She was like, "I agree with her." I'm paraphrasing all of this. You can obviously read into it, but basically, she's like, there are certain things that women go through that someone who is, in her words,
menstruating, menopause,
right, stuff like that, childbirth, whatever, and not just saying
the having the conflict of deciding, do I want to have a child?
Yeah. Because
if I don't have a child, society might deem me not a woman.
Right. I mean, there's also
shit like that.
There's also a lot of other things that comes into like being a woman. Just like I asked you once. This had nothing to do with the transgender topic. It was just like, what does it mean to you to be a man? What does it mean to me to be a woman? That kind of thing. Right. So anyway. So a lot of people on Twitter were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that the woman who created something so fantasy and something so unrealistic like Harry Potter can't understand the concept that someone might want to be something other than what they are." And I was like, I totally get that part.
Fantasy isn't real, so
that too. But I also was like, I was like, I understand that.
Hold on. Let's dive into that argument. If you want to say that someone that created a fantasy doesn't understand that someone's a transgender, you just defeated your own argument by saying, okay, well, basically, are you saying that people that are transgender are coming up with a fantasy, or so? Okay, continue.
I mean, whatever. So anyway, this person on Twitter was like, I can't believe it, and they were like, if this were, and then of course people start pulling other things like Hermione wouldn't believe in that, blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
She wrote the story. I think that she would know.
She would know. But then they started thinking like. Then they started being like, "Oh my God, y'all! Like, I just never noticed there isn't any black characters in the not black characters. Well, there aren't any black. There's like 4 black kids in the whole book series. But anyway, but they were like, I can't believe there's no like gay character. And everyone's like, what about Dumbledore? And it's like, yeah, but that doesn't count. Anyway, so she's been under fire for saying stuff like that. And it's like every other week she says something that triggers people.
Yeah, I from what I see, I see that.
So anyway, this whole cancel culture thing was. I took a couple screenshots of some tweets, and I thought they were interesting. I wanted to read one of them to you. I will keep the names out just for not as if these aren't public for everyone to see, because I saw them, but you know what I mean.
I get you.
Anyway, so this person says, cancel culture doesn't really exist. It's a myth created by people who have been used to saying whatever they want without being challenged and are now surprised when there are consequences to their words. #J.K. Rowling is still a very rich, best-selling author with a massive platform.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Another person says, I've been canceled in the platform for supporting Palestine and opposing U.S. wars so many times I've lost count. I hate cancel culture. I also hate that the people complaining the loudest have been involved in the canceling and act like they're the biggest victims when they are not.
That's true. Now, I would love to know,
that was
since it's just us two, can we think of anybody that's been canceled that legitimately got canceled? Like,
that just scared the hell out of me.
Yeah. Who has been canceled?
Thank you, FedEx man, for the box.
Yeah, right. Who has been canceled and is still
doing their thing?
They go away for a little bit, but they can still come back. Maybe R. Kelly. I mean, he's in jail right now, but
listen.
Maybe R. Kelly.
Do you still listen to his music sometimes?
Huh?
You still listen to his music sometimes?
I've never really been a big R. Kelly fan.
But I'm saying, like, if it came on, if Step in the Name of Love came on, are you gonna be like, oh, girls, turn it up? Or are you gonna be like, well, let me just kind of dance?
I'm okay with skipping stuff. Now, Ignition, if Ignition comes on,
okay,
you that's playing, that's riding. You ride that out.
Okay.
But
Are we still secretly going to Chick-fil-A too?
I never stopped.
Okay.
The only reason I boycotted Chick-fil-A was because I used to work there, and
I read that too.
I really can't think of anybody that's been canceled.
The biggest thing that's popping in my mind is James Gunn.
But he came back. He got his job back.
Isn't that what you were saying? Like, who has been canceled that can still come back?
No, who's been canceled that hasn't been able to come back?
Probably Kevin Spacey.
Ooh, that's a good one. Kevin Spacey.
But also, like...
Time will tell, though.
Right.
Time will tell.
But I guess
3 or 4 years, we might be like, well...
But I'm wondering, though, because James Gunn said pedophilia things, there was never anything that...
He wasn't an actual pedophile.
Right. There was never anything that proves that he had, like, 5-year-olds in his dungeon, right. Whereas Kevin Spacey, there have been allegations being like, yo, he was, like, having 5-year-olds in his basement. Not
first of all, it wasn't 5-year-olds. It was like 14. There's levels to the pedophilia here. Like,
well,
don't be disrespectful to the pedophilia community. You know what
I'm sorry.
Like shit.
Either way, but I'm saying, one of them was doing the thing, the other one only said the thing, so to speak.
Yeah, that's another thing. I can't stand people that get canceled for jokes. It's a fucking joke.
I mean, like, Kevin Hart. I mean, I don't know if he's necessarily back. He's not doing too much at the moment.
No, he's back. Like, he never even left. Like, honestly, I mean, the only thing that stopped Kevin Hart was fucking coronavirus. There's nothing we can do about. He can't tour right now. He can't make movies right now. So that's the only thing that stopped him. But
I mean, he's still
a relevant person.
Just to talk about this for literally a minute, I literally didn't appreciate the fact that he couldn't host the Oscars. I personally think he would have been a great host. He's comedic enough, but he can also take it seriously when he needs to.
He would have made the Oscars worth watching.
I mean, he would have done a great job. It's been proven in the past that comedians have done a good job at hosting. We saw Ellen, we saw Chris Rock do it. Like, it's happened before. Yeah. I'm spacing on other people that have hosted that are comedians, but it's worked before. But he went on the Ellen show and he was like, I apologize already, and then the Oscars wanted him to do something more, and he was like, I'm not doing that, and they were like, all right, well, get out.
Basically, they wanted him to fucking, for lack of a better term, kiss the ring, and he was like, all right, I'm not doing it.
So, I mean, I appreciate that part, but I'm just like, what was the alternative to Kevin Hart? Not a host at all. Yeah, so it's like...
And no one still watched the Oscars. Like, first of all, fuck the Oscars. Like, fuck any award show. All it is rich people patting other rich people on the back.
I mean, I don't know. I like watching the shows.
That's fine, but people, like, shut the fuck up, Joker. This thing.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
This nigga. I'm like, there's like 5 on there.
Fuck you. Get off your fucking high horse, you rich bitch. It's like a fucking... I'm not gonna say anything about your brother.
Listen.
Fuck you. She like... Don't...
Hold on.
No.
Joaquin Phoenix, I trust you. You did a great job. Ignore this.
No, fuck, like, get up there, win your fucking award. I don't give a fuck about your political views when you come up on stage and they be saying like the easiest shit to say. They're like, hey, we probably shouldn't drive cars at all because it's polluting the air. No shit, but we're still gonna do it. You're still gonna do it. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, that's why I hate award shows. Just due to the fact that all it is rich people patting other rich people on the back. That's all it is.
I get a button that says Chris gets triggered. Yeah.
No, I get triggered by rich people trying to pretend as if though they're in this for us. Like, fuck you.
Right.
Like,
well, listen, it's just like with the whole COVID thing. Like when it, I don't know, first started, they're like, we're all in this together, and I'm like, really? You have a basketball court, a theater, and 8 pools, and like a lot of acres.
Which you earned. You earned that.
But don't be like, we're in this together. We're like, are we though?
Because
you can get on a private jet and not have to be in, Spirit Airlines.
Yeah,
so, I get it.
I get what you're saying. You've earned it. You like. I get just as mad at people that are like, oh, how dare you post that you're on your yacht during the coronavirus. No, he has the money to do it. Let him do it. But I also get mad at you trying to be like, hey, we all going through the same thing. You're not, though. Like, don't pretend that you're going through the same thing as someone that lives in an apartment with 8 people. Let's keep it real. Some of us actually still have to go to work because if we don't, we'll get fired. So, we're not in this together. We're not heroes. We're not essential. We're not essential. Because that pisses me off. The whole you're a hero, blah blah blah. You're not gonna say that when this is all over with. You're not gonna pay me as if though I'm a hero. You're not gonna treat me as if though I'm essential when this is all done with. Right. So when times get rough, don't pretend that we're essential. Don't pretend, and it works the same way as like people be like, support the troops. You only say that when it's convenient. You could give 2 fucks about the troops when they're coming to your window. It's like, hey, you mind? I'm a World War II veteran, You mind, well, maybe not World War II. I'm a Vietnam veteran. You mind give me a couple of dollars and you roll your window up? Shut the fuck up. You don't give two fucks about the troops. None of us give any fucks about the troops.
Well,
if they did,
it
they would be
seems as though
treated
the
way
troops
better.
don't care about the troops because of the whole. Oh, what's the girl's name? I'm so sorry. I think her name's Vanessa.
Oh yeah, oh shit. I apologize for not remembering this.
We weren't even thinking about talking about it. Vanessa Gillian.
Yeah. I think it's pronounced Guillen, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going based off the way it's spelled, Gillian.
We need Mia here. She speaks Spanish.
Wow, that's terrible. But also,
she can do the Spanish pronunciation.
That's true. Well, Vanessa G, who was in the army.
VG. That was not okay. that was not okay.
That's funny. Anyway, I'm not
making fun of your death at all.
No. Because that's she was like. People she was like raped and like her body was found
or something like that, and like cleaned out of like it's a very, very horrible situation.
I mean, and then the military is like, oh, okay. So anyway,
yeah, exactly. That's like some shit happens. Like you know what I'm saying. So my overall thesis statement is don't act like you care about shit when you really don't. Like,
I mean, I kind of feel like with this whole cancel culture thing, because I went on Twitter to see if I can find any more things, and I saw something that I thought was pretty funny, but it was basically like, it was I think it's like, hold on, let me go back to it. It says the BBC accidentally summoning up what cancel culture means in 5 seconds. And it's got subtitles, and it's Manny MUA, who's a YouTube artist, makeup artist, and he's gay.
Oh,
anyway,
that's what's up.
He does decent makeup, to be honest with you. Don't really support him.
Like he doesn't do good, but
I mean,
he's not a good makeup artist.
I think
what you're saying.
No, I think he's a good makeup artist.
Okay. You know when people normally say like when people be like, oh yeah, he's decent, that doesn't mean like normally it means like he's alright.
I don't really support everything he says or does, but I think he does have good makeup skills. But anyway, he says, and this is the subtitles. It says, but I think the idea of cancel culture of being what it is, you make one mistake and you can never come back. Yeah. There's no second chance, there's no forgiveness. And then the interview responds with, Manny is now back to vlogging, which exactly sums it up. We're like, yo, I'm sorry, like, the blackface was wrong, the tweets were wrong, the picture I took was wrong, the thing that I said in that one video was wrong. You go away for a couple months and all of a sudden you're like, I'm back. My mind was, from all the videos that I've seen of people being canceled, right? All of their videos are the same, right? They're in sweatpants, no makeup on. They're in front of like their fireplace or their couch, and they're like, listen, what I did,
camera like right here.
Right. They're not even looking at the camera. They're like, listen, what I did was wrong.
Yeah, they're looking down, solemn.
I didn't know what any of that meant. Like, I was a stupid kid, and you don't really have a filter. You know, I was, no one called me out on it. No one told me that was a bad idea. First of all, you have terrible friends. All of those friends should also be canceled too.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, fuck
it.
Stop apologizing.
Because even if you said something in 2008, I'd be like, yo, bro, you gotta bring that back in a little.
I say shit now. I don't give a fuck. That's the thing. I'm tired of having to apologize for shit that I truly don't feel like it's a problem, but I have to apologize because if I don't, y'all will, we gotta get rid of this person because he doesn't agree with what we say. Fuck that. Yeah. Now, I'm not gonna say anything if I feel a certain way, that's one thing, and I'm not gonna say anything that's necessarily damaging. I'm not gonna say that gay people need to die or gay people are wrong or transgenders are less than human. That's not at all. But if a joke flies, if a yakety flies, hey.
Just like Nene League said, I said what I said.
Exactly. Cancel me, bitch. I'm
also,
black.
I
am a black man. Cancel me. And the moment you do it, I'm like, oh, you get rid of black men? You think the only person that can cancel a black man is a black woman. Anybody else, I don't want to hear shit else.
You're canceled.
I don't want to hear shit else. Maybe even a gay black man might be able to get away with it. But anybody else,
listen,
white women say anything about a black man, fuck out of here.
Listen, I want to I definitely remember sending it to you or talking to you about it. I don't know if you remember, but I always watch on YouTube this I don't know what the name of the YouTube channel is called, but they do common ground videos. So they'll have, the straight people versus the gay community, or police versus
is it like a
Black
fight?
Lives Matter. No. They come and they have
conversations. We would win.
We
would knock y'all out.
They basically just get two opposing.
No, fuck that. Nah, fuck that.
Wow.
Can you fight though?
No. They basically they basically get two opposing sides, and they see if they can find common ground. So
that's funny.
But
can you gay niggas fight
right?
though?
It'd be like police officers versus the Black Lives Matter movement. You know, monogamous people versus polyamorous or whatever it's called.
Go on.
So anyway, there was a particular conversation that they were having about do the LGBT community put too much pressure on like identity or so? It was something along the lines of that.
On their partner's butt.
I don't know. Wow. It was. I'm totally messing this up.
Yeah.
I just thought about it right now, so I'm not prepared. But anyway, they were basically just having a conversation like, does America put too much emphasis on like sexuality or whatever, something like that.
Shit.
There was this guy. It was a guy. It was a black dude from Texas. Shout out to him. But he was like, for a community who's supposed to be open and accepting, the minute that someone says, I don't agree, you immediately dismiss them.
Right.
And he was like, isn't that the whole point for you to be like accepting, even if it's something that you not necessarily agree with, you're supposed to be this open, inclusive, accepting community. But the minute that someone's like, I don't agree, you're like, oh, like, you're the snow on the earth now. And it's like, the guy was like, I don't agree with everything, but I'm also not trying to make you guys' lives complicated. I'm just letting you know right now, I don't agree. Yeah. And he was like, that's why I don't think we can ever move past anything, because the minute that someone's like, I don't agree, you just assume that like now I'm trying to make whatever cause that you have invalid. That's not the case. Like,
I mean, that's basically how life works.
I don't watch wrestling, but I'm not going to sit here and argue with Chris telling him why he shouldn't do it, because guess what? I don't care enough, first of all, but also that's not going to change his mind. He's going to be like, you know what, fine, you're right. Wrestling is garbage. Guess what he's going to do the next day? Watch wrestling.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we try to prevent gay people from living their life, and gay people try to tell us that we're wrong in thinking that. Or when I say us, I mean people that are not gay. That we're wrong for not accepting them when we say things like, I don't agree with that lifestyle. For me, I don't necessarily agree or disagree with that lifestyle, because that's not my lifestyle. So it's like, hey, fuck it, do your thing. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, shit, I'm accepting of a dick in my ass. I'm not. Because that does not interest me. I am interested in women. Period. Black women, to be exact. But I, for one, am not going to sit here and argue with a group of people that only make up like 5% of the population and let them try to control 100% of my thought process. If you're gay, be gay. Do your thing. Not going to stop you. Not going to say you're wrong. I'm not going to say that you shouldn't be able to get married. I'm not going to say that you shouldn't be able to sleep with the man you want to sleep with. Because at the end of the day, you're going to sleep with him. If we made a law today, being gay is illegal. Being gay will not go away. They are still going to be fucking each other. Because there was a point in time in history where being gay was illegal and people were still gay.
I mean, we have to think about people, black people in particular. They were like, y'all can't be here, or not necessarily be here, but like y'all can't exist the way that you want to exist. Guess what we did? Existed the way we wanted to exist. So like, there's no like moving around that. So anyway, I just thought that was really funny. And cancel culture, whatever. I don't care. I don't think I have enough energy to cancel somebody.
Exactly.
I can look at somebody and go, oh yeah, that's super offensive, or oh yeah, that's really racist. I don't agree, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like, I've never like, we gotta put an end to their career now or whatever. Like when Mel Gibson said those things, guess what my stupid ass did? I don't know. I watched Hacksaw Ridge and I enjoyed it. So like, it's just not. I don't know. I'm just looking at all the tweets on Twitter now about cancel culture.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're supposed to do while you're doing a podcast.
Sorry. But no, I just think that it's really funny. But yeah, like you said, I don't have the time, space, the idea. First of all, there are a lot of people who are like digging up like old tweets. Like, who the freak is doing that? Who has who wants to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go to Chris's Twitter, and I'm gonna Google, or I'm gonna put an algorithm in that will take me back to 2008, and I'm gonna take what he said and I'm gonna bring it up now for what reason?
Even if it only takes me 2 seconds to do that, that's 2 seconds that I'll never get back. So, like, I don't. Why are you putting so much energy into shit that bothers you? Like, if something bothers you, here's an idea. Maybe you want to cancel it, maybe you don't want to cancel it. But the best way to cancel something is to not watch it.
Ignore it, right?
It happens all the time and that's the thing when it comes to cancel culture. A lot of the shit we don't even know about. Someone finds it, it's like, oh, that's a problem. Like the Kevin Hart tweets, to go back to your example. Maybe at the time somebody saw it and thought like, oh, that's fucked up. And then 10 years later, they see it again. It's like, oh yeah, I remember how I felt at that time. But for the most part, none of us remember that shit. Right. I don't remember it. But you put more fuel. You bring more attention to something when you try to cancel it, and then that person ends up being more famous. So good job, you didn't cancel them.
Right.
You just added fuel to their fire. Now you look stupid.
Right.
So for me.
And plus, I think there's other people who are doing things that are, I wouldn't say these things that people are saying aren't like offensive or bad or anything, but I'm saying that there are people who are, I don't know, like the cop that just killed George Floyd. Like, that's a little bit more, like, there's people like that who are doing things that aren't being,
that aren't being canceled.
Right, that aren't being reprimanded. Like,
yeah.
They still haven't arrested Breonna Taylor's killers.
Exactly.
They haven't figured out what happened to Vanessa G. However he say her last name. I don't remember. Yeah. Like, there's stuff like that. Even the kid that was found rolled up in the mat at high school or whatever, they wrote it as a suicide. Bitch, how the fuck do you roll yourself up in a mat?
I don't. Yeah, there's so many things out there. Like, you put so much energy into the wrong shit. Like, I just don't get it. Like, we care more about shit, and look at us being hypocritical. We care more about shit that we hate, cancel culture, than we care about things that we love. Like, I'll sit here and complain about cancel culture all day. And that's just human nature. We care way more about the negative than we do about the positive.
Well, I mean, like you said, Jesus Chris, how much packages did you order?
I didn't order anything.
Thank you, UPS. It was FedEx before, now it's UPS. Just waiting for
Amazon earlier. Like, shit.
See, he didn't even ring the doorbell.
That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, obviously that is what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to touch doorbells right now. It's COVID. #sickness.
Oh, well, who's just out here licking doorknobs?
Yeah, but if someone with COVID had COVID on their finger, touched the doorknob, then another driver comes and touches the doorknob. Now he got the COVID. Now he has the COVID on his hand.
Now he's got the COVID on the boxes.
That's how they. And that's why we needed to shut. This is Chris Adams speaking. I said this back in like February. I was an asshole for saying this, but when everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Corona might be a problem," blah 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 blah, I was like, "Well, why don't we just stop letting people leave China?" It's a pretty simple concept. No, you can't do that. That's offensive. You can't lock people in. What happened? We ended up locking everybody in on a global scale. It could have just been China by themselves. Hell, it could have just been the city of Wuhan by themselves locked in. But no. We had to let everybody do whatever the fuck we want. We still had to go to the club. We still had to hit the Super Bowl. We still had to do all this shit. Now look at your dumb ass. You locked in your crib, don't got a job, waiting on that stimmy. You're not going to get it. Hey, look at your dumb ass. You're stupid. I've been said, lock everything down. This could have all been prevented.
Well, I saw an alert on my phone. It was yesterday, I think, or the day before, and it was like, Texas has 10,000 new COVID cases. It's a hotspot now. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing out here?
People going to the beach, going to the bar, going to the hookah lounge.
The hookah lounge.
Like, going out cannot be that
desperate. That crucial.
Crucial. There you go. Like, it can't. Okay, let's put it this way. If I said, but hell, it's not even an example. I mean, not even a hypothetical. I could use a real example. If I said, yeah, Tori, the neighborhood, give me a bad neighborhood.
Willow West. I don't know. West. I don't know.
Okay. Well, insert bad neighborhood here. I was like, yeah, there's been like 10 shootings over there the last week. But from our understanding, we haven't had one this week. So
it's safe to go then, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you wouldn't go to the hood because you're scared to get killed, but you're willing to go to the fucking mall and you know that people have been getting sick and dying from this, I just, the two things are just not.
Right. Well, I saw, this is sticking with the same COVID conversation, but I saw somebody on Twitter, obviously Twitter, was talking about, there were like a lot of people are embarrassed to say that they have the COVID, or a lot of people are saying, I don't know why you'd be embarrassed of that.
I guess like no. I'm trying to think like if I had a cold, do I want everybody to know? I guess not.
I mean, I don't like. How do you? Well, I guess I'd be curious to know why would you be embarrassed to be like, yo, I'm sick. Like, if people are gonna make fun of you, like, oh, look at that stupid bitch, he's sick. Like I don't know. But then there are people who are like, you know, maybe they don't know. People aren't feeling like, well, because I'm not sick, I don't need to be tested. There's this whole like, the test isn't, or the COVID ain't gonna touch me because I'm 22 and I'm healthy as fuck.
Alright. And don't get me wrong, if we get it at our age, it's a good chance we're gonna make it out. That don't mean I want it though. Like, I don't want to be sick. Like, I don't want a common cold. I don't want the flu.
Anybody to be sick.
I don't want to have any. Like, I do not want to be sick. So I will say though, it's clear that who's been the ones that have been passing around the common cold, the flu, and all this. It ain't niggas. We wash our hands.
Wow.
White people stop washing hands. Who's left? I ain't heard nobody getting a cold as of late. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. But also, I just want to point out,
I will also point out that the Indians know something about how a common cold from a white man can fuck you up. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. My brain was just plugged in. What was the place called? Jamestown?
Oklahoma. I don't.
Jamestown?
Jonestown. Jamestown?
Jamestown?
Where were you referring to?
Like when they came in on the Mayflower or whatever? Like,
okay, that was Pride Rock, but continue.
Well, then they have like, I don't know, my brain was thinking of like, I don't know, like Pocahontas, the animated movie Pocahontas.
You do realize that not all Indians are the same, right?
No, I know that, but I'm saying if you let me finish, I was saying my brain thought of Pocahontas where the chief was like, these white men are dangerous. Like, my brain thought of that.
Yeah. Hashtag make it a meme.
It was somebody used it in the comment section. They were like, these white men are dangerous.
Pocahontas was such a lie of a movie.
It was a lie.
Trying to make it seem like
and no, Zendaya shouldn't play Pocahontas in a live action. Just stop trying to make her work for everything.
Why was such a beef with Zendaya? What did she do to you?
No, they want her to play Moana and Pocahontas.
What is this light skin on light skin crime? What did she do to you?
She didn't do anything to me. I think she's a beautiful girl. I just think that there's a lot of smoke being blown. That's all. Oh. That's all. No offense, Zendaya. If we ever meet, I mean, that is offensive. Care about you. That was that offensive.
It's like, hey, you cute, but you know, a lot of shit that you do ain't really all that. You all you is a little pretty ass face, and
no,
quite honestly, you straight at best. You kind of cute.
What you mean, kind of? She's absolutely beautiful.
Well, you said it, not me. I said it.
No, fool. She's absolutely beautiful. I don't know. I'm also not one of those people that's like super obsessed with stuff.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I am, but not in that kind of way. Like,
she does that. Well, most celebrities have stands, and that's the problem. Like, those type of fans, the worst.
Now, if someone tried to badmouth something like The Sims, then I have something to say. But that's the only thing.
No, you care more about The Sims in real life.
But even then, I can agree.
You can live real life. You can live the life that's on Sims. You can live that.
That's not true.
Pretend like none of this conversation just happened. Anyway, so yeah, so next week we're gonna come back and have a conversation about kids on social media. How you feel about it? Anything you want to plug before we get up out here?
No.
All right. Well, that's Antisocial Commentary. I'm Chris. That was Tori, and she has nothing going on in her life. Apparently.
I don't actually.